Attention! Attention! The Berlin broadcasting station returning to the air. As the all clear has just sounded, you're ordered to resume your customary occupations. Damage in tonight's air raid has been negligible. The authorities have the situation well in hand. Attention! One more announcement. Reichsminister Dr. Paul Joseph Göbbels is now on his way to one of the affected areas. Dr. Göbbels will broadcast an eyewitness report from the actual scene of this latest demonstration of ruthless aggression. When we wait, our orchestra will cheer us with a rendition of Beautiful Galatea by Franz Suppé.
Herr Quandt will see you now.
Herr Dr. Göbbels, I understand you have come in answer to my advertisement.
Yes, Herr Quandt.
Be seated, please. Tell me, what experience have you had in tutoring children? I presume you brought references.
As a matter of fact, Herr Quandt, my experiences in tutoring children have been somewhat limited. You might really say that I have had practically none. However, I believe that I have certain pedagogical gifts.
I see. How old are you, Doctor, if I may ask?
I was born 1897.
1897? Well, let's see, it's 1925 now. That makes you just...
I'm exactly 28 years old.
Yes. Well, thank you, Doctor.
Napoleon would have conquered the whole world if he had been of the master race. But he was not German. You see, Harold, if Napoleon had been a true Aryan, tall, blonde, blue-eyed, nothing could have defeated him, ever.
My mommy has blue eyes. Could she win the world?
Your mother is certainly the loveliest type of German womanhood.
But, Herr Doctor, you are German. Why aren't you blue-eyed? You couldn't conquer Europe. You couldn't.
Harold. Good morning, Doctor. Tell me, something's happened, something good.
Oh, yes, Frau Maria. I've had a real bit of luck. You see, I can pay my rent now. I'm to have an assured income. I have an advance already.
You've sold your play. I'm so glad for you. What a wonderful feeling it must be. What fun. Come on. Let's sit down. Tell me all about it.
Well, it isn't quite settled yet. There are a few details. May I pay my bill now? I'm sorry I was behind, although it was only 3 weeks this time.
Thank you.
In any event, the Colonel might have spared me the embarrassment of the dunning note I found on my dresser last night.
Now tell me, who's to produce your play?
Oh, we've talked too much about me. Let's talk about you. What a nice frock you're wearing. New, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you like it. I design all my own clothes, you see. It was a toss-up for a long time whether I wanted to be a designer or an actress.
And the stage won. Very fortunate for your future public, Fräulein Brandt.
Herr Levine, my teacher, he's promised to let me study Juliet. That makes me very happy. He's really a wonderful teacher, Herr Levine.
I'm sure you'll make a wonderful Juliet. Wonderful.
I must be letter perfect, you know, for my audition tomorrow. Here. See how she leans her cheek? So
Yes, I understand.
This bud of love, by summer's ripening breath, may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night. Good night. As sweet repose and rest come to thy heart as that within my breast.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it. And yet I would. It were to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love?
But to be frank, and give it thee again.
Maria!
Herr Dr. Göbbels, you will leave my house at once. I give you exactly 1 hour to pack your belongings and get out. And heaven help you if I ever see you near my daughter again.
What's biting the doctor?
I don't know. Something is. I've ordered brandy before.
And I swear by this sacred symbol of our party, and let the world mark my words, that I will not give up the struggle for Germany's future until I have restored our national honor and made our fatherland the guarantor of everlasting peace.
Colonel Brandt. If Adolf Hitler ever gets enough power, I assure you Germany will be the strongest nation in the world, and peace will be secured for the next 1,000 years.
Personally, as a Junker, I am not interested in a peace that would last 1,000 years. I believe in Bismarck. Bismarck, who said that war should be the rejuvenating steel bath of a nation, and war must be our objective.
What about the last war? That wasn't exactly rejuvenating, was it?
You talk like a defeatist. I tell you, Brandt, and this is strictly confidential, the entire German army is ready to follow any man who will give them the chance to fight again. And Adolf Hitler is that man.
I have asked you to come to Berlin because you represent the liberal democratic press of Germany. There is no greater political power in the country than is assembled in this room at this minute. I want you to mark this day, the 24th of September, 1929, as the day on which we gathered to consider a question of utmost gravity. Gentlemen, I will not mince words. You are well aware that I refer to the subversive activities of the Nazi Party. I assure you that if these political hoodlums succeed in their objective, it will mean the extinction of the personal, the political, and the religious liberties guaranteed by our Constitution.
If you really believe that, Heinrich, we should all sell out and set up shop in the United States. No, my friend. Barking dogs never bite.
Unfortunately, Hot-Tongue, this is not to be passed off with a proverb. Krauser, will you please get me the folder marked confidential from the file? Moreover, if we had only that hysterical braggart Hitler to contend with, the situation would not be half so critical. But Hitler is not alone. I don't need to tell you, gentlemen, that I refer to Dr. Paul Joseph Göbbels. He is the shrewdest, most unscrupulous propagandist the world has ever seen. Thank you. A man whose ruthlessness and cruelty know no limit. A man who does not stop at murder to accomplish his one objective: power for the Nazi Party. Let me give you a brief outline of what has happened in the last 24 hours in Berlin alone. Therefore, I have some recommendations to make, which I urge you to consider as strictly confidential.
Wahlberg, perhaps you'd better postpone this a minute.
Oh, no. Krauser has been with us for 23 years. He is absolutely loyal.
Thank you, Mr. Wahlberg. That's very gratifying. Do you care for a drink?
No, thank you. I'll be brief. I suggest first that as newspapermen, we give up our milk and water neutrality and adopt a policy of open hostility. Second, I suggest that we urge the government to form a Republican Home Guard for the protection of state and constitution. Let us show them that democracy is not only an ideal, but an instrument. Not only a ballot box to express the will of the people, but a flaming sword to enforce it. Well, gentlemen, I would like to hear your reaction.
My dear Wahlberg, my answer is an emphatic no. I can think of nothing more ill-advised than the course you recommend. We would justifiably lose the confidence of our readers, to say nothing of alienating the affections of our advertisers. Besides, I'm willing to take any bet that 10 years from now, in 1939, even the names of your Hitler and Goebbels will be completely forgotten.
Gentlemen, I wish to go on record as agreeing 100% with Heinrich Wohlberg. It is my firm conviction that at this moment you have failed in a public trust. You have betrayed the people of Germany. Moreover, gentlemen, you are signing your own death warrants.
But this is a coincidence. Your name is right there on my desk. I was going to find out if you were still in Hanover. Please be seated.
Thank you.
Well, what have you been doing all this time? I didn't realize it was you and the man announced Wolfgang Brandt. It's been long since.
Yes, it must be 4 years. Almost 5. I was really curious to see you. That's why I came.
How nice. Well, you're really a woman now. And more beautiful than ever. Amazing what has become of the little Juliet. No doubt you have found many Romeos since then. More persuasive ones, perhaps, than the meek, insignificant playwright. I still remember how you laughed. And Colonel Brandt, he threw me out of the house like a dog that had misbehaved.
Oh, let's forget that.
Forget? We Nazis pride ourselves on our memory, you know. Even when we are at the top, we remember our experiences at the bottom. Anyway, people don't laugh at Dr. Göbbels nowadays. Some even consider him dangerous. Yes, in all modesty, I may say I have accomplished a great deal. And I'll accomplish a good deal more. What about you, Maria?
My hopes have not turned out too well so far. I seem to have got stuck here in Hanover, still doing small parts in a small city. Things looked so bright when I left Berlin, but somehow, no matter how hard I tried...
You mean to say you never got a chance to really show what...
No, never. Nothing.
Oh, that's too bad. Too bad. But don't give up, Maria. Your luck will change.
8. That's all. Nothing short of a miracle.
Yes, they are beautiful. Oh, Herr Kramer, did you count 9 curtains? I'm so happy. How did you like me?
Very creditable. Not at all bad. Eh, Weber?
How'd you like me as kinfolk of both houses? Incomparable. There's Claudia here, so Pop and Herr Levine are waiting.
Her first performance, and she packed the house. I don't get it.
No, you don't.
How wonderful, exclaimed the princess. It's all gold and marble. And look, what beautiful birds. They will sing for you day and night. But where is Prince Charming? Here at last is the noble prince, said the bear. And as the prince, now restored to his own beautiful form, steps down from the throne to greet her, the little princess sees that all the beasts of the field and the birds in the door, in the air.
Hero! Huh? What's happening? What's happening, gentlemen? Oh, please, don't do that. My broadcast. I must do it.
Attention! Attention! Men and women of Germany. At 10 o'clock this morning, President von Hindenburg appointed Adolf Hitler Chancellor of the Reich. This 30th day of January, 1933, marks the rise of the swastika over all of Germany. At this moment, hundreds of thousands of Germans are giving themselves over to indescribable joy, knowing that a new era of peace and prosperity, of decency and self-respect has begun for the Vaterland.
Listen to this. Hamburg. Violent riots in Harbor District between Nazis and stevedores. 53 casualties. 4 dead. Numbers still mounting. Police efforts to control situation failed.
Fräulein Schumann.
Yes, Herr Wolfgang.
Get me Hamburg on the wire, please. The observer, Herr Landsberger.
Yes, sir.
Why, hold on.
What's the matter?
Somebody get down. Get some brandy, quickly.
You gotta stop that bleeding.
Those dirty swine. Those filthy skunks. They got me for refusing to Heil Hitler. 5 of them jumped on me. I guess I must have knocked a couple of them out. But more kept coming. They kicked me in the face. Someone must have hit me over the head. I guess they thought they'd finished me.
Here, swallow this.
Thanks. Get me, you gun! Get me, you gun! I'll kill those stinking Nazis! I'll kill them!
Why have home and study? That won't get you anywhere. Don't you think Frau Homer is too young to be a widow? And what about those 2 youngsters of yours? Fräulein Schumann. Call a taxi, please. We must see that he gets home.
I'll see to it. Hello? Hold it, please, just a minute. Herr Wahlberg, I have Hamburg on the wire.
Hello, Landsberger. Wahlberg speaking. Yes, I know. It came over the tape.
Would you send a cab to the Wahlberg building? Entrance 5. Yes. Yes, right away, please.
I was afraid of that. The mob's been there. They've wrecked the linotypes and smashed all the windows. But what about you, Landsberger? Are you all right?
What about the police?
Good. That's most important. Tell me, didn't you call the police? Oh, you really believe that? The police came too late, deliberately. Tell me, did you get the morning edition out? Well, I'll tell you what to do. You take...
Sorry, I'll have to interrupt your conversation.
How is it now? Do you think you can make it all right?
I think so.
Take it easy now.
Well, Homer, the fight is over. For all of us. I know. Take care of him, please. Ask Frau Homer to keep me informed. Fräulein Schumann, get our branch in Frankfurt on the direct wire, please. Adler's office.
Here it is. Adolf Hitler has just appointed Dr. Paul Joseph Göbbels, Reichsminister of Propaganda and Public Enlightenment. Dr. Göbbels will immediately take over the German radio, the press, the arts, the theater, and the motion picture industry. This appointment assures the development of the national culture to a peak hitherto unknown, says Göbbels.
For us of the press, the Goebbels appointment amounts to just this. They're signing our death warrants after the execution.
Ready with your Frankfurt call, Herr Wahlberg.
Well, Adler, how are things down in Frankfurt? What's that? Eh? Can you speak a little louder? I can't hear you.
You know, some friends dropped in.
Hello, Adler. What's happened? Can you hear me? Well, why don't you answer? In heaven's name, what?
Herr Wahlberg, I have orders to arrest you.
Krauser.
I'm sorry, but you know the interest of the Third Reich stands above everything and everyone. You must understand the new era. All I can say is...
Let me see your warrant.
Well, as a matter of fact, we carry our warrants here. You understand?
I understand.
Tomorrow, put your money on Lordgren, on the nose. He'll pay 100 to 1. Did the horse tell you? No, I told the horse. I'm the new racing commissioner.
right, Hanneson. You know what your prophecies are to be tonight. I have instructed Jenny very carefully. She knows exactly what she's to say.
I understand, Herr Minister. You can depend on me. Surely you know that I'm prepared to answer any question.
Very good. Stop that music.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's hardly necessary for me to introduce Hanneson, our greatest clairvoyant. The man who accurately predicted our rise to power. Tonight, you are to have the privilege of witnessing Hanneson's supernatural gifts. Hanneson, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please settle down for just a moment? Would one of the ladies be good enough to act as my medium?
Oh, Elsa, you do it. You've always been a little crazy.
No, I couldn't do it. I don't know if I'd spoil it.
Go on, Elsa. This is your chance. Oh, please do, Elsa. My mother always said I was a little psychic.
Well, which of the ladies will it be?
I'd like to try.
Fine. Come right ahead. Don't be afraid now. Come right ahead. Just sit in this chair, please. Sit down. Relax, please, Fraulein. Relax completely. A little less light, please. Ladies and gentlemen, this young lady is now ready to answer questions. Now, who will be the first?
Tell me, when is my birthday?
Your birthday falls on February 28th.
Right. What will I be doing February 28th?
I see you standing on a street. You're watching something. There are other people, a great many other people. All looking at a building. A very large building. It's in flames. It's the Reichstag. The Reichstag is in flames.
Well, that's a grim bit of news. Let's try for something more cheerful. Hanneson, let her tell me something about... Ask her which will be the happiest moment of my life. I hope it's still ahead.
Herr Minister Goebbels wants to know which will be the happiest moment of his life. The happiest moment of his life.
It is several years from now. Spring. It's a beautiful day. Warm. A flag flies from a great steel structure. The Eiffel Tower. It's the swastika. It's Paris. The windows are all closed. The streets are deserted. I see a huge black limousine. You are riding in that car. You're looking right and left. You're smiling. It is the happiest moment of your life.
Paris. And this time we'll do it.
The first thing I do, I go to Maxime.
This time we will teach them a lesson. Prosit. To Paris.
Herr Hanneson, I would like to ask a question.
All right. Just one more.
I would like to know where I'll be in 10 years from tonight.
Where will this gentleman find himself in 10 years?
I see an endless plain. Sand. Sand and mud. It's a desert. I see countless thousands of soldiers. You are there. You are in command.
Well,
My congratulations, Rommel. So, you are slated to conquer Africa.
Bravo! Erwin and Romo.
They all fox.
Well, I am something of a clairvoyant myself. I'd like to venture a prediction. It's very simple. Mark my words. Today, Germany is ours. Tomorrow, the whole world.
Hanke, please.
Yes, Herr Minister.
Hanke, I have a few more items I want to tend to immediately. I'm not at all satisfied with the people's response to our anti-Catholic campaign. Get in touch with the literary department. Tell them I want them to work up some stories. For instance, about embezzled poor box funds in, say, Münster.
In Münster?
Yes. And here's something that must be handled very discreetly. Get in touch with SDCFilms. Tell them I want Fräulein Maria Brandt of the Hannover Municipal Theater brought to Berlin for a screen test. And that I wish to see the results personally.
Yes, Herr Minister.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Here you are.
Thank you.
Papa! Oh, I beg your pardon. I thought you were my father. I expected my father to... Isn't Colonel Brandt at home?
Oh, you're Fräulein Brandt. No, I'm afraid the Colonel won't be back before 6 o'clock.
Oh, you must have thought I was crazy jumping at you like that. But I hadn't written my father that I was coming, you see. I meant to surprise him.
I'm the one who's crazy, blocking the door like this. And I haven't introduced myself. I'm Dr. Hans Traeger. I'm your father's new tenant.
How do you do?
Well, how do you do? Here, let me help you.
Oh, no, I'll take this light.
All right, I'll take these two. Come right in. Sure, your father will be glad to see you again.
But I still don't understand. You mean my father's actually painting these doll heads? But why?
Didn't he write you that he'd lost his pension?
That was a lifetime pension from the government.
Yes, from the former government.
Awful. Awful. Papa's a retired military man, and he... Oh, well. I'll have to straighten up my room a bit so I can move in for a while.
Is this only a visit? Aren't you staying?
Whether I stay or not depends entirely on the UFA studio. They called me for a screen test. Anyway, I'm superstitious. I bought a round-trip ticket.
Well, gentlemen, let me have your reactions to Fräulein Brandt's screen test.
Very talented young woman.
Very
striking.
Excellent.
And very beautiful.
Yes, lovely.
Of course, we must remember, gentlemen, that her experience has been limited to the legitimate stage.
Yes.
However, I think we might risk giving her small parts for a year or two.
I disagree completely, Herr Corral. I may say that I'm not altogether surprised to find your procedure so antiquated. I find Fräulein Brandt quite ready for a leading part. For stardom, in fact. For instance, I can very easily imagine her as Gloria in Queen for a Night. If you will think it over intelligently, I'm sure you will agree.
Good night. Yes, I think.
And you won't have to worry about the public's acceptance of Colonel Brandt. I can assure you, she'll be extremely popular. Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler.
Maria, do you know it's after midnight? Aren't you going to be late?
Oh, no. The benefit show is going on now, but I don't go on until 1 o'clock. Besides, they're going to call for me. Oh, I wish they wouldn't come at all. I hate these official benefits. But you know the Nazis. They just won't take no for an answer. They're going to be broadcasting the show now. Should I find it for you, Father?
No, dear, no.
Got some real talent there tonight.
Yes, I know. I don't want to listen to that rubbish. I'll tune in just before you go on.
Now, Papa, straining your eyes on a jigsaw puzzle is just exactly what you should not be doing.
Darling, this doesn't hurt my eyes. It's real relaxation for them. Not like painting doll babies, you know.
Shh, Papa. Let's forget those awful days. That's what started your eye trouble.
There's nothing the matter with my eyes, woman. I can still see I have a very beautiful daughter.
You're a darling. And I still think I have the most gallant father in the world. Oh, there they are now. Well. Hello.
Hey, darling.
Thanks, Papa. Now, don't wait up for me. You know they drag out these benefits endlessly.
Mm-hmm. Have you got your key?
Good night, darling.
Herr Reichsfuhrer Himmler? One moment, please. Herr Minister Dr. Goebbels is calling you.
Hello? This is Himmler speaking.
Listen, Himmler. You know that list of yours for tonight that we were discussing? Well, there's one more person I'd like you to take care of.
All usual thing. Enemy of the Third Reich. Defamation of party leaders, subversive activities.
His name is Colonel Eberhard Brandt. Eberhard Brandt, retired.
Brandt, Colonel Eberhard. Happen to know the address?
Friedbergstrasse.
What's that?
Friedbergstrasse 14.
14 Friedbergstrasse.
Yes. Well, Himmler, I hope I'll see you soon.
I don't know that I'll be able to see you for some time. As a matter of fact, I'm a pretty busy man these days. I've quite a list here. You'd be surprised to know how many of us have special friends.
Von Mansfeld. Where is the doctor?
Tonight? I don't know. What do you want to pour at this hour of the night?
Listen, Hanke. You've got to find him. His name is on the list for tonight.
Mansfeld. You are positive there is no mistake?
I've got a photostat of the list. Goebbels' name is right at the top. Now get this, Hanke. Tell him to stick to Hitler. Tell him no matter what, he's got to stick till 3 o'clock Wednesday morning. That's the deadline on executions. It's his only hope. Tell Goebbels to get to that plane. He's got to fly with Hitler. Hanke, I've got to go now. I'm being tailed.
Hanke speaking. Is Dr. Goebbels at home? You don't happen to know where I can find him. Thanks.
Paul, it's beautiful. Oh, it's lovely.
Let me fix it. Now, let's see. How does it work? Now. There you are.
Really, Paul, you're an angel. But you shouldn't have spent all that money. You really shouldn't. Where does it come from?
Where does it come from? What do you mean? Oh, the necklace. From the best jeweler in Berlin.
Let it ring. It'll stop in a moment.
Who? Oh, him. No, I haven't seen him. Not for almost a week.
Vera?
Yes?
The Herr Hanke on the phone wants to know if you're meeting Dr. Goebbels tonight.
No, not tonight. I'm seeing him tomorrow night.
Anita, is the doctor here? I'm sorry, he doesn't happen to be here.
Supervisor, this is the propaganda ministry. I'm not getting an answer on Bismarck 2326. Check that wire immediately, please.
You know, Jenny, I've really no right to be away from my desk tonight.
Fräulein Hartmann. Fräulein Hartmann. Is Herr Dr. Goebbels there? Hello? Hello? Is Herr Dr. Goebbels there? Dr. Goebbels?
Hanke, is that you? What's the matter?
Von Matzfeld just called. Herr Doctor, you're on Himmler's list for tonight.
Herr Minister Goebbels, is the Fuhrer expecting you? You know that insurrection is in the air. At this hour of danger, my place is at the side of my Fuhrer.
I warn you that in the interest of the Reich, whatever you may be called upon to do tonight must be carried out in the strictest secrecy. Any one of you disregarding this order, either by direct statement or by implication, will be shot immediately.
Sometimes I cannot help but feel that being a movie actress has real disadvantages. It often seems
Colonel Eberhard Brandt?
Yes? What can I do for you?
I want to talk to you.
Won't
you come in?
An audience that is directly out in front of you, warmly alive, such as I see here tonight, and eager to cooperate with you up
be
there on the
seated, please.
stage. The third and worst
Turn this down a
disadvantage
little bit.
is that in the movies
That's
you
my
begin to
daughter
believe
talking.
it.
There is something you wish to say?
You might call it that. It's a message from Dr. Goebbels. Well, that's done. Let's go. Pretty birds. Poor little birdie couldn't sleep a wink, could him?
With real little mouths to be fed, real little bodies to be kept healthy,
and real little hearts to be comforted. So won't you all, please, into your pockets and your purses and give all, every mark, every penny that you could possibly spare. Oh, let us give largely and gladly and gratefully in the name of our own warm, comfortable homes and of our loved ones who live in them.
This terrible thing would never have happened if I had been in Berlin at the time. If the Führer hadn't insisted that I accompany him on his secret mission that very night, I would have heard about Himmler's plan. I could have stopped him, of course. And your poor father would still be with us. I know there's nothing I can say to console you. Even the most sincere words sound empty at a time like this. I know, too, that despite your many friends and your great success, you must be feeling very alone in this world. And it is not a kind world, Maria. I can tell you that. I wish you would try to understand that I'm really your friend. Perhaps the most devoted friend you have left. I don't know of any more subtle way of telling you, but the simple truth is I love you. I always have. You don't understand what you mean to me. Your beauty, your way of talking, the way you move across a room. Maria, I've loved you ever since. Don't answer too quickly, Maria. I can make you great. I can make you the most famous, the most envied woman in all Germany. And all of Europe. Think who and what I have become. Maria, let me be your friend.
Thank you, Dr. Göbbels. But you must understand clearly and at once. I'm not interested in the kind of friendship you suggest. Not even to become the most envied woman in the whole world. I'm quite satisfied with what little success I've achieved.
What little success I have achieved. It will interest you to know that you have achieved nothing, exactly nothing. It was I who achieved for you. Where do you think you would be if it weren't for Dr. Göbbels, eh? I'll tell you where. In the wings of the theater in Hannover, waiting to speak the three-line part that you had achieved. Maria, I have undertaken to make you great. Believe me that by the same token I can...
You see, Dr. Göbbels, I know now what you really are. My father knew it 10 years ago. He acted accordingly.
Yes, Herr Minister.
Hanke, write a letter to SDCFilms, Herr Quandt. I want him to inform Frau Maria Brandt that her contract with SDCFilms will not be ratified by the Ministry of Propaganda, and to make it clear to her that she is no longer eligible for any employment in the German motion picture industry. Thank you.
Agree we're an unholy tree, the scourge and the menace of culture. There is no doubt that the world has found out. I'm a wolf. I'm a rat. I'm a vulture. We stamp people under, we plunder and plunder. We're dauntless and dashing and daring. And those who oppose us repose neath the roses. I'm Hitler. I'm Goebbels. I'm Goering. Heil, heil, heil to Herr Goebbels, his lying gets him his medals, he shouts. Ah, kill all the rebels. Heil, heil to Herr Goebbels, heil, heil. And I let me another. People of the Third Reich, heil, heil. When you feel like you fool, like you feel, heil. Heil. When you station has in offenders, heil, heil. Ain't it?
We're lucky that we can still joke about it.
I should say we are. Still free Austria.
Yeah.
Good bolting. Just wait. Next year they'll sing to another tune.
Is there something else you like, ladies?
Thank you, no, we're leaving. How much is it, please?
That will be 2 shillings 40 groschen.
Well, then we'll say goodbye.
Goodbye, Herr Doctor.
Goodbye, Herr Weidler.
Goodbye.
I don't believe it. Maria Brandt, what are you doing in Vienna?
Dr. Traeger. Hans Traeger.
You can't leave now. Well, this is an occasion. We've got to celebrate this.
Oh, this is Herr Dr. Traeger, Frau Wendler.
I'm glad to know you, Doctor, I'm sure.
Frau Wendler?
Dr. Traeger is a friend of mine. I haven't seen him since I left Berlin.
How nice. I think I'll run along, Maria.
Oh, no, please stay. It isn't very late.
Yes, do.
No, I must be going. You stay and celebrate. It's been a pleasure meeting you, Herr Dr. Traeger.
Frau Wendler?
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Frau Wendler.
Well, this is one of the nicest surprises I've ever had.
I was sitting right over there.
Shall we go back? Tell me, why haven't I heard from you? Why didn't you answer my letters?
You mean to tell me that you didn't get a letter from me?
No.
Well, there's only one reason for that, Dr. Traeger.
And what's that?
I never wrote one.
Oh, nice girl. Now, suppose you tell me why.
Well, that's not too easy. You know, Dr. Traeger, plenty of actresses have had their future swept away. I realize that. But I lost my career, past, present, and future in one blow. I knew only one thing. I wanted to run away. I wanted to run just as far as I could get, just as fast as I could go. I never wanted to see anyone or anything who'd had any part in my past. Not ever.
I see.
I'm sorry now, though. About you, that is, I mean. Perhaps if you'd write me just one more.
I'll do it. And this time I'll deliver it myself.
But I don't want to see Dr. Traeger.
Now, Maria, you're acting like a sulky child. You can't blame a doctor for breaking a couple of engagements. He told you it was for emergency cases. Now, this time you are the emergency case.
Once more, please. Exhale. Fine pair of lungs. Seem to be in excellent condition. All you have is a regulation head cold. You'll be on your feet in a few days. Anything else troubling you?
Well, I think my nerves are a little shaky. I haven't been sleeping too well.
All right. Maybe we'd better check the heart. Lie down, please.
Do you know, Hans, you have a few gray hairs.
Maria, please. How can I listen to your heart if you keep on talking?
All right. I won't say another word. Why don't you grow a great big beard? It'll make you even more dignified.
Nothing wrong with your heart. Just a little rapid right now. I'll have a look at your eyes.
They're brown, haven't you noticed?
Nothing exceptional. Your general condition is really excellent.
But what about my heart? You said yourself it was too rapid.
I'll give you something to take care of that.
Too bad I've taken up so much of your valuable time here, Doctor.
I realize I'm not exactly an emergency case.
That's quite all right. I'm sorry I have to rush now, but I'll call you tomorrow to see how you're feeling. Goodbye, Maria. You'll be all right. My dance, I believe, Fräulein Brandt.
Enchanted, Dr. Traeger. Enchanted.
First the whole house. All right, I'm going there. Everybody look upstairs. I'll go upstairs.
Sorry. I'll have to see your papers.
What's up? What's this all about?
A man from the Home Guard has been killed. You know, political disagreement. We're looking for the fellow who did it. Say, foreigners, aren't you? Germans.
Yes.
I am Hitler.
Hans. It's like a nightmare. An Austrian policeman saying, Heil Hitler.
Yes.
Attention, Austrians, attention. Our country is in danger. There is only one way to preserve our independence. Give Chancellor Schuschnigg your vote of confidence in Sunday's plebiscite. Stand firmly behind your government. Long live Austria.
Well, they haven't left us much of our gay evening, have they?
I'm afraid not. All this seems a little foolish now. Do you mind if I change into something a little less festive?
Go ahead, dear. Poor Maria. I feel almost as if it were my fault that we...
Hans, there's nothing wrong in the whole world tonight. Here we are together because we didn't care to go out. We wished to have one quiet evening alone. Well, tonight our wish has been granted. And you know who granted it?
No, who?
The fairy Silvana.
Oh.
I doubt that she's your type. When I was a little girl, she lived in the fireplace in my nursery. She had the regulation equipment, wand, star on her brow, and of course, 3 wishes up her sleeve.
3 wishes?
Mm-hmm.
Why, that's exactly the lady I wanted to meet. Let me see now. All right, I've made mine.
What, all 3 of them?
Yeah, all 3 of them. I'm good at it. They won't come true if you tell them.
I don't mind telling mine. That is, one of them. I'd love to travel. And you know where? I've always wanted to go to Switzerland.
Switzerland? Oh, wait. Can you see your way to taking along a poor fellow who's fresh out of wishes?
I didn't tell you my other 2 wishes, did I? I wonder who that could be.
The fairy Silvana, perhaps.
I think I'd better answer that. That was the police. They're still looking for the man who killed the soldier.
Don't look at me. I have a delightful alibi.
But I have to look at you. They said no one would be permitted to leave the house before 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh. this isn't bad at all. If you can spare a blanket, I'll be very comfortable.
It's a bit short. Don't be surprised if you wake in the morning looking like a pretzel.
I won't complain, as long as you recognize me.
I'll get you the blanket.
Maria, you asleep?
No, I'm not. I thought you were.
No,
I wasn't either.
neither was I.
Oh. Still snowing?
Yes. Looks like we'll keep right on. You know, Maria, I was thinking about Switzerland. Great honeymoon country, Switzerland. Famous for it. Did you hear me, Maria? I said Switzerland was a great country for honeymoons.
I read that. I read it in Baedeker.
Baedeker or no Baedeker, that's the kind of thing I'd like to prove for myself.
Baedeker says honeymoon couples abound in the famous Swiss resorts.
Well, first thing tomorrow, we buy a Baedeker. Maybe we'll abound there ourselves.
It's almost morning, Hans. I think we'd better get some sleep.
I know, darling. But remember, we have a date with Baedeker first thing tomorrow.
I'll remember. Good night.
Good night.
Attention! This is the Vienna Broadcasting Station. Men and women of Austria. At this moment, German troops are pouring across the Austrian border. German military planes are landing at the Vienna airport. Stand by for further orders. Heil Hitler!
Here is the ironing, Maria. I'm afraid it's still a little damp. Is there anything more I can do for you?
Yes, Frau Bendler. The most important thing. Will you please take care of my husband while I'm gone? See that he doesn't dash off without his breakfast every morning.
Now, don't you worry about the doctor, my dear. I'll keep an eye on him.
Here's your robe, darling.
Thank you, dearest. I'm all thumbs today. If I only get to Berlin on time.
I hope you're not overestimating the influence of General Ulrich, Maria. You really think he can prevent Levine from being deported to Poland?
Well, Ulrich is my only hope. And he adored Papa. Do you realize, Hans, what it would mean if they send dear old Levine to a Polish concentration camp? Why, he'd never survive those horrors. Not even a week. Hello. Yes, this is Frau Dr. Traeger. Thank you. What time does the train leave? 8:30.
When the Gestapo came for him, he didn't answer his doorbell. You know how they are. They broke the door in. And there he was. Right where he always sat. I guess his poor old heart just couldn't take any more.
Ah, yes, here is your passport. You have applied for a return visa to Vienna.
Yes, I have. You see, I had to leave Vienna in such a hurry that I didn't have time to think about it there.
Yes, these things happen. Well, Frau Traeger, I had to submit your application to the Minister of Propaganda. Your request has been denied. You are not permitted to return to Vienna.
But I don't understand. Vienna is my home. I live there.
Sorry, but your father had a record as political criminal. And you were dishonorably discharged from the German film industry by order of the Minister of Propaganda. He is the only one who could clear your record. Sorry, I shall have to confiscate your passport. Next, please.
Darling. I've never been so happy to see anyone in all my life. How did you manage to get away from Vienna, from the hospital? How did you find time? How did you know I wanted you so? How terribly, terribly sweet of you to be here.
Darling, I love you 4 times as much as I did 4 years ago. If there's that much love in the world.
Hans. Hans.
What is it, darling? What are you doing? What time is it?
I just got a letter from the passport office. I'm to be there at 9 o'clock. It must mean they've granted my visa.
Oh, well, that'd be wonderful. Then we could still go to Vienna tonight.
I'll have to hurry, though, if I'm to be there on time. Turn over and take a little cat nap, huh? I love you. If I get my visa, I'll call you the first thing.
Now, if you'll please sign here. Beautiful city, Vienna. I was there myself before the Anschluss. As a tourist, you understand.
Thank you. May I use your telephone, please?
Why, certainly, Frau Dr. Traeger. Right over there.
Dr. Traeger, please, 342.
Dr. Traeger is not in. Is there any message?
This is Frau Dr. Traeger. I wonder if you would...
Oh, just a minute, Frau Doctor. I'll connect you with the desk.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, Dr. Traeger? I'm sorry to have to tell you. Dr. Traeger was arrested by the Gestapo just a few minutes ago.
No. Oh, no.
So you are from Heidelberg, my dear Ewald Hinzel. Lovely city, Heidelberg. I studied there once. Well, you'll soon be back again, enjoying a good glass of wine. I can only say that I envy you, Hinzel, lying there with the knowledge that you had a part in Germany's glorious struggle to free the oppressed peoples of the world from the corruption of the so-called democracies.
Liar! You filthy liar!
I must see you, Herr Minister. Immediately.
Well, if it's that important, perhaps we might talk in there. Wait here.
I came here...
How did you know I was here?
I heard you make the appointment when I was in your office asking you for my visa.
Oh. I think I can guess what brought you here, Maria. Frau Dr. Traeger. Your husband has been arrested and you suspect that I've had a hand in it. Well, as a matter of fact, I have. But there's no hurry. Nothing has happened to him yet. It's only 10 minutes past 12. The Gestapo have not even started to question him.
Oh, could you?
All right, Maria. Here is the situation. From the very first moment that I met you, I, shall we say, fell in love with you. Quite madly, I can assure you. But I failed to win you. You are the one open account in the ledger of my life. Now I'm prepared to close that account. I'm willing to guarantee the safety of your husband. Now, listen carefully.
Have you noticed? The doctor's lucky star seems to be wearing a little thin around the edges lately.
Well, he's in a tight place. You try scampering all over Germany telling the people how happy they are.
Well, Maria?
You leave me no choice.
The rest is very simple. Your husband will be released within the hour. You will tell him that you have received permission for both of you to go to Switzerland. You will travel with him as far as the Swiss border. There you will be told how you are to leave the train without your husband's knowledge. You will see with your own eyes that he crosses safely into Switzerland. Then you will be brought back to Berlin.
Minutes at the border, passport inspection. Have your luggage ready, please.
How long is the train stop at Ball?
60 minutes, exactly 1 hour. Get your luggage ready, please. 15 minutes at the border, passport inspection. Passport inspection, 15 minutes.
What about, when do we take her off the train?
I have special orders. Do nothing until I tell you to.
Have you noticed those two fellows outside our door? They've been there most of the trip.
Yes, I've noticed.
Typical Nazi faces. Darling, you're dreaming with your eyes open. Climbing mountain peaks already?
Tell me, Hans, haven't we always been happy together? Truly, profoundly happy.
Of course we have, darling. Haven't I told you hundreds and hundreds of times? And now, in a new country with 50 years ahead of us,
Please.
we'll be even...
Would it be too much trouble? Would you help me?
Certainly no trouble at all. There you are.
Thank you so much. You two going on into Switzerland?
Yes, we are.
My, aren't you fortunate?
Darling, I know just what we'll do. As soon as we get into Zurich, we'll check in at the Bora Lock and go right to the restaurant. We'll have all the whipped cream we want, and then we'll order...
How long before the train starts?
3 minutes, darling. Do you realize the Swiss border isn't more than 100 yards from here?
Exactly 3 minutes, Hans?
Exactly. That is... Well, now it's 2 minutes and 45 seconds. What are you looking for, Maria? Is something troubling you?
They've gone.
Who?
Those 2 men. I don't see them anywhere.
That's just too bad. Do you miss them?
All aboard. All aboard.
How long before we start now?
Precisely 1 minute and 35 seconds.
Tell me, Hans, do the trains always start exactly on time?
Well, this one certainly does. They're closing the doors now.
Hans, we're moving.
No, no. That's the other train that's moving. But we're about to.
Do you know what I want to do? The very first thing in Zurich? I want to go to a church. Because I think that...
Herr Dr. Traeger?
Yes, what is it?
Sorry to have to trouble you, Herr Doctor, but the treasury official would like to see you again for a moment. Something about another signature on your money transfer, I think he said. Would you mind coming with me, please? It's just the third compartment down. This way, please.
Excuse me, darling. I'll be back in a minute.
Hans! Hans!
Steady, Maria. Don't let your nerves run away with you. Just think of that whipped cream in Zurich.
Frau Dr. Maria Traeger?
Just one more signature, if you please, Herr Doctor, and everything will be in order. Herr Dr. Traeger.
Oh, excuse me. I was just thinking about my wife. She's always wanted to see Switzerland.
Naturally, naturally.
Believe me, it was fatherly concern for the welfare of each and every soldier in the ranks that prompted the Führer to relinquish the city of Stalingrad rather than unnecessarily to imperil one life of... than to imperil unnecessarily the life of a single German soldier.
We interrupt Dr. Göbbels' speech for technical reasons. Keep tuned to this station for further orders.
Where's Dr. Göbbels? He will be late for his broadcast.
He's been in there for quite a while now.
I'm sorry to disturb you, Herr Minister. It's time for your broadcast.
All right. Let's get on with it.
Attention, attention. Herr Reichsminister Dr. Paul Joseph Göbbels will now speak to you.
Men and women of Berlin. Rumormongers, gossips, and foreign agents in the pay of our enemies will try to tell you that terrible and irreparable damage has been done in tonight's attack by air. I'm speaking to you from a house in a so-called devastated area. I can assure you the damage is so negligible, it's hardly worth mentioning. Let the gentlemen in Washington and London and the leaders of all the other so-called United Nations not delude themselves. We have made Europe a fortress so impregnable that never, and I repeat, never will an enemy set foot on any part of European soil.